What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here, still going through puberty, I guess. And I'm here with
Gershwin.
Not going through puberty. That man is done.
Damn. I wanted a couple more inches.
Where? And welcome back to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And if you guys enjoy the channel, if you like hanging out with us and listening to us talk about Warhammer 40K, support the channel, or you can, with a super thanks. If you do ask us anything you want, and we will make it a thumbnail question for the next episode, guaranteed. So you'll be leading the next Greater WAAAGH. And that is the question that comes from
H.R. Welch. Do you guys think that either of the missing Primarchs were ever turned into Servitors? If so, could they become Super Servitors?
Ooh, so like a Ferrus Manus Servitor.
I could definitely see it. First of all, if you don't know what servitors are, they're basically lobotomized humans with mechanical parts giving tasks to be done.
Yeah.
So like in a lot of like sci-fi, you would see like robots like cleaning the house, fixing things, helping humanity in various ways. It's the same thing, but ever since the AI revolted, the Men of Iron were gone away with, and now they're servitors.
Yes. And how badass would it be for... I'm just going to lay out the story of how Ferrus Manus Servitor could exist. Fulgrim wants to get back at the Imperium by just basically... what's it called? Like bastardizing one of its greatest warriors, Ferrus Manus, and his brother. I guess they're all brother, but like his best friend... takes the skull, creates a clone of Ferrus Manus that's not going to be anything like the original, but still really strong. Lobotomizes him, puts the skull in, like the actual Ferrus Manus skull, and now you have Demon Fulgrim being supported or led by this macabre, like Ferrus Manus, just servitor dummy.
That is very grim, dark, very demoralizing, especially if the Iron Hands sees Demon Fulgrim and he's got literally their Primarch on a chain being used as like a table or something.
Half robot, just like, in a gimp suit.
And you know it's Slanesh, so you know what he's doing to that, to that servitor. It's like, why is he covered in oil? That's not oil.
That would be super badass in terms of grim darkness.
Yeah.
Not condoning anything else.
Right. But that would be a way to kind of differentiate Fulgrim from 30K to 40K, because we've seen Fulgrim Ascended, and man, that looks badass.
It does look badass.
It kind of leads into our second question. Brian BBB asks us, did you expect more from the new Fulgrim model?
So, because his wingspan is so long or big, he looks tiny, but I'm pretty sure he's not.
Yeah, like it looks so badass, but at the same time, it's like, how are you ever going to transport a model like this?
Oh yeah,
it looks so fragile. Because like it's basically like a Y. You have the two wings, and then it comes down to the serpentine tail. Yeah. Maybe I don't know, like maybe magnetize the wings.
Yeah,
sure. You'd have to do something like that.
And the wings are my favorite part because they look like hands, and then they just put like wings on. It looks really cool.
Like bats, kind of.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
The one thing that kind of grosses me out, but is pretty cool, is how he has those weird like tubes in his back.
Yeah, that made me itch.
And he's got like a corset thing going on too.
That's just gay.
Is it though?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean he's supposed to be, right? Slanesh, there's the duality of men, female, and the blurring the lines between the two.
He's the plus.
There you go.
LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting to see if this is the beginning of GW going towards a more Slanesh, like, kind of avenue for the game. Because obviously this is Horus Heresy. It's not for 40K.
Yeah.
But if they begin to supplement Slanesh into 40K, is it going to be along the lines of like what they do with Age of Sigmar, where it's more about like demons and like perfection, instead of going the other route, which is about like sexuality and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see if GW is going to tiptoe around the subject, or just do what they've been doing for years and completely ignoring them again.
Yeah, they could also like go towards the route of slavitude or.
See, I don't know. I feel like you're going into an area where it's a lot of like. I mean, yeah, it's grim dark, and it's more like how you were talking about with like Ferrus Manus, where it's almost like a slave to.
This thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like moving forward. I wonder what direction GW will go with it.
And it does sound a little bit more Dark Eldar-ish or
Drukhari, yeah.
Than it does Slanesh.
But again, the Drukhari and the Eldar do share that bond with Slanesh.
That's true. Good question.
Yeah. Changing roles completely. We have James Pinkman saying, "I would bring a capybara to a rat fight."
Oh, yeah. So he said instead of playing 40K, next time we're just going to have a bunch of rodents fight each other on my table. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, a capybara would probably destroy. You said, what, a swarm of mice?
Yeah.
And I said, no, you said a guinea pig. I said a swarm of mice. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, the capybara would, like...
Because it's still a rodent, but it's, like, huge.
The only thing that I think can compete with capybara would be a what is it?
A catalytic converter?
Yeah, car run over the thing. No, damn, I made a video about this.
Oh, the cabbie, right?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Catalonian cabbie.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it's like I think you were making the joke. Would you rather buy like a $500 Necron construct from Forge World, or spend that money for that Catalonian cabbie?
Yeah,
good video.
Two rats. Also the Catalonian. I don't even think that's what it's called, but they're two giant rodents. I would pay to see that. Next question. T's Family Kent says, "Do Chaos ships need a Geller field whilst in the warp?" Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Chaos. Just because you're Chaos doesn't mean you're protected from other Chaos. It's a wheel of who's in control, who's on top, who's on the bottom.
Yeah.
Chaos demons always are going to fight. Chaos warbands fight amongst themselves all the time. So it would make sense if you're going to go into the warp. Basically, you're going into the ocean, and there's like always going to be a bigger fish out there. So yeah, you got to protect yourselves.
Yeah, you got to think of it like in hood terms. Like you're going to the ops neighborhood. So obviously you're going to get got because just because you're both gangbangers doesn't mean you guys find yourselves in like camaraderie, even though you should.
Right, just like a bunch of Key and Peele skits.
Yeah. We got to commit more crimes. Next question.
So this next question is by Jack Sand 2. What do you think of a Dreadnought Sanguinius? How would you imagine its construction and its appearance if it was up to you? So a long time ago, I found an awesome Dreadnought on eBay, and it was basically a Contemptor Dreadnought, but it had like these angelic wings. It had to be either like green stuff or maybe from a different like game type entirety. And it was like big enough to make it seem like this Dreadnought can indeed fly, but it was also sculpted in gold and had a lot of different like ornamental designs that you'd see like on a Sanguinary Guard. So I think something like that. Definitely gold, definitely very ornate, and some angelic aspects to it like wings.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And yeah, I think it has to be a Contemptor because you cannot do like a regular, what are they called? Just a regular Dreadnought?
Regular like Ballistus Dreadnought, like the Primaris stuff. That wouldn't make, well, I mean, I guess it would make sense because it'd be happening in current times.
But not with wings.
Yeah, they're too boxy. They look too heavy.
Yeah. It just wouldn't flow right.
Yeah.
And it's all about appearance. Next question comes from...
I got one from the big one.
Yeah.
This one, when I first read it, left me with my mouth agape. I couldn't believe it. Do you think that the High Lords of Terra are getting fed up with Gilliman and now the Lion coming back and might actually try to overthrow or kill them?
That's just a regular question.
Exactly. Like, what happened, big one? Like, what happened to your questions? This is like, are you using your main account and forgot to log off?
I was waiting for the punchline that I fucking forgot what the question was.
So Gilliman and the Lion, now that they're coming back and doing more things to the Imperium, do you think the High Lords are going to try and kill them or somehow try to take power back from them?
For sure. There is always going to be power struggle, but can they kill them? No.
Well, I mean, High Lords have a lot at their disposal.
Yeah.
They could even summon like the Minotaur's chapter, the Inquisition, maybe even the Grey Knights. But it's going to be different, though, because obviously Gilliman came in and he had the Grey Knights on his side and all that.
Yeah.
Assassins, Astra Militarum. They could also convince it where these are demons from like Chaos trying to mask themselves by appearing like the Primarchs. So that could mean that the whole Ecclesiarchy could be on their side, the Sisters of Battle. So it could literally easily become a civil war.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be what will happen in the future. Kind of like another Horus Heresy, but more internal.
Yeah, I would see the High Lords doing things like Littlefinger from
Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Like very like, I'm on your side, and in the most crucial moment, I'm going to stab you. Mm-hmm. But I don't see them. The biggest one is, yes, the whole Imperial Creed then turning into a civil war, because it's like, don't worship him, no, worship him kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think espionage and like sneaky little things would be really cool.
Yeah, but when you also think about it, a lot of the High Lords are also kind of on Guilliman's side, because Guilliman is a High Lord, first of all. You also have Morven Val, which is a High Lord of the Sisters of Battle, who is also a Sister of Battle herself, who's also on Guilliman's side. And then you have Lord Solar Radiant or something, or is it Macarius?
Yeah, the guy who's like really big, right?
Yeah, the guy on the horse.
Yeah.
Who's also part of the Imperial Guard, so I would see him siding with Guilliman if anything ever happened where it was a civil war.
Yeah. Yeah, so ultimately I do think that like they would have to strike in a way where it just completely cuts Guilliman out. Like maybe even putting him back into stasis by accident.
Yeah.
And framing it like, oh, we have to do this to save his life.
But now you also have the Lion out there too.
Yeah.
And that's another big thing to contend with.
Even though they haven't even like met up.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Next question comes from Diu Donkey Bay. I'm reading that wrong. 1937. In the history of 40K, has there ever been a human smarter than the Big E?
I don't think so, because I mean, the Emperor has been alive for a long time, and being alive for such a long time grants you pretty much infinite knowledge.
And remember, he's the one. Like his real name, what is it?
Neoth.
Yeah, and it's because like he's the cream of the crop when it comes to humans.
There are really smart humans. Like, it wasn't the Emperor who just outright said, I'm going to make the Primarchs, I'm going to make the Space Marines. There were other scientists and perpetuals that helped him, like Amara Astartes, Erda, Malkador, etc. And he also did need to steal from the Chaos Gods to make the Primarchs.
Yeah, so it's hard to find something that will beat the Emperor in pretty much anything. He is like the plot armor to the extreme.
Exactly, yeah.
Unless you're Horus.
I wouldn't say Horus was smart, because he did the dumbest thing he could ever do by... The way he became Chaos Corrupted, I feel like a Primarch would have been like privy to it.
Oh, like, all these guys are using me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Because he did become a pawn.
Yeah.
And that's what made the Emperor so sad. Like, oh, my son is just trash.
His favorite son, too.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking. We'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwin.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.